This conference will now be recorded.
All right. Good
All
morning.
right. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Got my coffee. We got our technology sorted out. We're ready to go.
Exactly. I've
So
already had
welcome
my
everyone.
coffee.
You're all set. You've had your
I'm
coffee.
good. I'm stellar.
So yeah, welcome
Mm.
everyone. I'm Brian Hemmer with the Inevitable You. I'm here with Diana Sprague or Angel Artemis, right?
Artemis Angel,
Artemis Angel? Okay,
Goddess Angel.
Goddess Angel. And yeah, we're here to have some fun with some tarot cards and talk about the new moon, which was yesterday.
Mhm.
And we're still, I guess, technically within the new moon of 24 hours, right?
Mhm. Right?
As well as the new lunar year, year of the rat. So
They're Chinese.
Diana is extremely gifted
Mhm.
channeler, intuitive, medium, someone I've used for a while now for my personal guidance and
Mhm.
longtime friend as well. So
Yes.
welcome. I'm
Thank you.
excited to finally be doing this. This has been a long time coming. So
It has perfect timing, divine timing.
yes. So how about just tell our viewers a little bit about yourself and how you kind of got into this realm of channeling and tarot card reading.
Ooh. Well, started when I was a child and I saw things that weren't there and felt things that weren't there in this dimension. I mean, I've always seen angels, I've always seen fairies, and when I said something about it as a child, people said, "No, no, no, you no." So it's like, okay, well, fine, maybe I don't. However, several things happened, and there was a pivotal thing at 13, and I just decided I didn't want to see anything else. I want to live in this dimension, and I ran. And it took me quite some time, a lot of life lessons and a lot of challenges and difficulties. And in my late 30s, I I want to say forced, but it was just evident that the gifts were there and it was time to use them. So I can see, feel, hear, taste. When I bring messages forward, they can come in so many different directions. It depends on the person. It's totally about the other person. And I don't remember what I channeled because it's not my message. So since the late 30s, I've been growing and evolving and advising and helping and raising the collective vibration, carry a lot of light. That was part of my contract, come to help the vibrational raising and the change in the earth from 3D to 5D. Anybody who wants to come along. How's that for a good summary?
Yeah, that's great, and there's a lot in there that we can unpack. I think
Okay.
so. Contract. Tell me a little bit about what does that mean, and um,
Whew. Okay. So my belief and experience is that we are all souls and we all exist, beginning to end, infinite. We're all part of Source, God, the Creator, whatever you're comfortable calling that higher entity, higher power. And we come to experience different things, different lifetimes. And we have a group that we incarnate with each time we come. So you and I are part of a soul group. The people that we have interacted with, part of a soul tribe, and we come down with scripts. So when we're in spirit between lifetimes, we say, okay, what do you want to do this lifetime? And it's like a play. So this time I said, I'm going to be an early indigo, which we're here to change the world. And I'm going to evolve a little bit later into helping with the age of Aquarius and transitioning and carrying a lot of light. So we've all chosen different things and we all play different parts. And over the different lifetimes that we incarnate, we play all sides of it because our soul wants to have all the experiences. We want to see the good, the bad, the duality, the light, the dark, the yin, the yang. That's just where we are.
Cool. Yeah, makes sense.
Okay.
So it feels like you're already doing some channeling. Yes, you're already
I am.
channeling. Okay. And now explain how that works, or give us a better idea how you perceive it, how you get the information, and where is it coming from?
Okay, it can come from all kinds of places. It's always divine. It can come from gods and goddesses, angels, archangels, fairies, um, extraterrestrial beings. There's so many energies that we don't see with our eyes in this lifetime. They're all around us though, and they're supporting and nurturing, and the ones I'm working with are supporting and nurturing. I've done a lot of shadow work, and in this world in 3D, there is duality. You've got the good and the bad, the healthy, the unhealthy. So I've dealt with a lot of them as well. I'm past that part. That part for me, that part of my play is over. That act is over. And now I'm purely focused on the energy of the collective and raising the vibration and helping us go into the age of Aquarius. That answer your
Gotcha.
question?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I think so. The other piece that you mentioned in the intro, that ties in with the raising of the vibration, this moving from 3D to 5D notion.
Mm-hmm.
Just go into that a little more and explain what does that mean?
Okay, so 3D is really dense. It's solid energy. It's for
Three
me
dimensions,
now,
right?
three dimensions, right, right. And to me, it feels like the tar baby, muck, stuck. It's very heavy. 5D is light and airy. As you go up the dimensions, it gets lighter and lighter and lighter. And honestly, I generally live in a higher dimension than that. I can come back down to 5D to help with ascension. I do a lot of work in the dimensions higher than that that helps everybody else in the collective.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then just
Mhm.
trying to wrap my
Mhm.
brain around this as well as the viewers.
Oh, it's complicated. I remember when I first started out and I thought, have I lost my mind? Have I gone crazy? What?
Uh-huh. So three dimensions, like three-dimensional space, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And is there a fourth dimension, and what is that?
Mhm. Okay, so the best way to start with this that I'm hearing is one-dimensional communication is like a text or an email. You get 7% of the information
Uh-huh.
in this dimension. Okay. The two-dimensional would be a phone call or something where you don't see the other person. You know, as I talk a lot with my hands, this is the 3D.
Uh-huh.
But the second dimension, you get about 15% of the communication in this dimension in 3D. And then in the 3D dimension, you're actually face to face with the person and you're getting the body movements, the eye contact, the whole picture, the unspoken messages. Okay.
Like even right
So
now, how we're
right,
communicating. Okay.
right, right. Because you can see me and you can see what I'm doing and you can tell the facial expressions. I can tell yours. It's the whole message that we're getting in 3D. Okay.
Uh-huh.
As you go up in the dimensions, it's more ethereal, um, fluid. It actually goes really well with the age of Aquarius and the Aquarius New Moon because it's an air-like energy. It's thoughts, it's um, higher ascension, and it can feel a little bit spacey and floaty when you're first starting in it.
Uh-huh.
Fifth dimension does the same thing. So right now, well, not right now, for a long time, there's been Rainbow Bridge. And Rainbow Bridge is something that your higher self can go talk to somebody else on Rainbow Bridge. And you can assist each other, you can resolve conflicts. That's part of how I help people ascend is okay, go to Rainbow Bridge, get used to feeling that, and then step into the next dimension.
I see.
Make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah, and so how that ties to
Mm-hmm.
frequency or vibration is the higher that you're vibrating, you're able to
Mm-hmm.
access that dimension because it's vibrating at a different frequency.
Right. Right. It's like, okay, so vibrations, for example, you'll notice that throughout your lifetime, you have different experiences and different people. We've all come for our own journey, and nobody is right or wrong. We are all right where we're supposed to be. So I'm sure you've noticed in your lifetime that you had these friends, and then it didn't feel quite so right later on. So those friends move away, and these new friends come in. It's as you're all ascending in a different frequency. And again, no good, no bad. It's a matter of, are you working toward the same goal in this journey? So
Gotcha.
the people that you released or released you on the journey went to do something else.
Uh-huh.
You've gone on to do something else. Like you and I didn't meet early in your lifetime, early in my lifetime.
Right.
We met when we were mature enough to actually be open and think outside the box
In this lifetime,
in this lifetime.
we've had many lives together for those that
We
don't.
have. We
Um,
have.
so this vibration is really it's everything, what you're thinking, what you're feeling,
Mm-hmm.
your health, your physical body,
Mm-hmm.
even your astral body then, or
Yes.
the the counterpart to your physical body, call it the soul,
Right.
how high it's vibrating. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It really is kind of a pivotal soul vibration at the core, and everything else is tied into it. Because your soul, as it ascends, it brings it, hey, body, come on with me. You've decided to have this divine experience in a human body. So you've got to bring your body along with you. And a lot of times when you're raising your frequency or your frequency is being raised, depending on how are you conscious or are you unconscious of doing it?
Uh-huh.
Sometimes that creates aches and pains. And there have been days where I've awakened and thought, oh man, do I have the flu? I ache. And it's not, it's your body has to adjust to that higher dimension.
Yes. Yeah, we were talking earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I told Diana I hadn't been feeling well this week, and I
Mm-hmm.
think it was due to a choice I made end of last week, kind of over the weekend, and it started
Mm-hmm.
before this, I think, to make certain changes. And
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe coming from the soul level, that it forced a vibration on me that created some achy stuff for me. I
Mm-hmm.
thought it may have been a bug, but it didn't feel like I got sick because it didn't
Right.
take me totally, it didn't take me out. I was still able to, function
Mm-hmm.
and do my work and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
it felt off. I had a headache. My
Mm-hmm.
body didn't feel right and had some congestion.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm feeling like I'm coming out of it. So I absolutely
Yeah.
get
Well, and
that.
I want to go back to forced. So it really wasn't forced on you. It was your free will and your choice, and that was a consequence, a reaction to your choice.
Okay.
It's all
Yeah,
positive. I
that
don't.
feels better.
Yeah, I don't want anybody to feel like they don't have a choice. You are in control of your own life. It's what you choose, and it's not the action. It's your reaction to the action. So you chose this higher vibrational step, one step at a time kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
And as a reaction to that, your body needs to come with you. So
I see.
yeah, you're adjusting.
Okay. Cool. I
Okay,
like that. That feels good.
good.
Um, so let's see. You mentioned new moon. We'll go into that in a second.
Okay.
I also wanted to know and just give a brief kind of intro
Mm,
into the tools that you use, the tarot
okay.
cards, other ways that you can channel
Okay.
information um, for our viewers
Okay.
for understanding.
Okay. Okay. Well, first, anyone can do this. I am not better than anybody else. I've just chosen to be a little further along the ascension path than some other people. Just this is where I am in my life. So I am no better than anybody else. Everyone can do this, and I really want to be encouraging about that. The way I receive messages, it's it's an intuitive thing, and I'm an empath, so I can feel other people. When I do readings, I can actually feel the other person and help them through whatever it is we're doing. Now, I do use cards in this dimension, oracle cards or tarot cards or, pardon me, different spiritual cards that are made, so people can understand in this dimension. We're visual beings. We want to touch it and feel it beings, understandably so. Divine spirit having a human experience. So I do use cards for other people, and we are going to use the Oracle of E deck today. It's Pam Grout and Colette Baron Reed, and we'll just do a sample so that, when we do this in the future and I do readings with other cards, either archangels or ascended masters or fairies. I have several decks that the decks pick themselves. This one was, okay, use me this morning. Okay. So it's just for visual confirmation for people.
Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, I have some with me here. I'm a huge fan of them as well.
Yes.
Just for my own personal guidance.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I like to think of it is like, the first thing is like Schrodinger's cat. It's the thought experiment that, whatever you expect to see, if you expect to see a dead cat in the box, you're going to see a dead cat. But it's kind of like in the quantum physics philosophy, they think, or the theory is that, infinite amount of possibilities can occur at any time. And so the right message will appear for you through the cards. Also, I think that, ultimately, for some of the skeptics out there, maybe that you can pretty much pull a message from any card that you pull, and we all have the ability to channel, and so we pull the meaning that is right for us in that moment for that card. So
right, and it could be different for every person. We could pull, you and I could have the same ascended master card with different meanings for each of us, depending on what the energies line up and what we're focusing on.
Right. So cool. Well, let's get into let's talk about new moon first then.
Okay. I've got some notes over here.
It occurred at, what was it, around 4:30 Mountain Time yesterday?
I want to say 2 something.
Yeah, that's 2:42 Mountain Time.
2:42. Yeah, there we go, Mountain Time. Yeah, so there are 13 new moons in a year. The lunar calendar goes 28 days. Our Gregorian calendar goes 31, 30, 29, whatever. But the lunar calendar is what we focus on if we would like changes, or not. It's a way to use energetically, use the energies to make changes. That's better.
Okay.
So the new moon, for example, is a time to welcome things in. Think about what you want this next lunar cycle. And each lunar cycle has a sign. So this one is in Aquarius. So Aquarius governs certain things. Actually, let me tell you what Aquarius governs. Hang on a minute.
Okay.
So the energies that are extremely potent during an Aquarius new moon are humanitarian efforts, altruism, friendships, creative projects, building community, like this, building a community, worldview, humor, objectivity, knowledge of going with the flow, groups, innovative ideas, surprises, and the unexpected. So it's an air energy, which is thought, and everything starts in your thoughts. So thoughts become things. That's somebody's tagline. But you think of something in the mental field first, and then you bring it forward to your physical. So does that answer that?
Yeah. So the importance of new moon, another way I like to think about it, farmers, believe that new moons were a great time for planting seeds, and the same principles apply for our seeds of intention. You know, it's a great time
Yes.
energetically to request something, place an intention, you
Mm-hmm.
know, plant these seeds of desire, if you will, and
Uh-huh.
let them grow throughout the course of not only this current new moon cycle, but
Mm-hmm.
certain new moons can extend beyond
Mm.
the 28-day, right? It
Well,
extends.
the energy always extends. It's a matter of, did it change? So every new moon, you get an opportunity to evaluate the energy and add a different piece to it, because the astrological signs that are governed by fire, water, air, and earth, you've got a different aspect every 4 months
Mhm.
that that you can change, you can add. So right now, the things we're thinking about are thoughts. Next month is going to be a Pisces new moon. It's going to be emotion. So it's, what do you want to incorporate in? So they all work together. And sometimes you'll change. You'll decide, well, the the new moon, you set your intentions, you come to the full moon, and there's a full moon every month as well. That's a time for releasing. So you've created these intentions. What isn't really working in your life that you can say, really don't need you anymore. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here, energy. I don't need you anymore. I would like something else. And that's the intention that you created. So
Yeah,
you're continually making space, you're continually releasing and making space for the new things that you want in.
got it. Yeah, and I think again, for maybe people who are new to this, or even
Mm-hmm.
if you're a little skeptical watching this, I always find it's a great period, amount of time to reset, refocus, recalibrate, you know,
Yes.
and it's not your normal, you
Mm-hmm.
know, January 1st is the start of the year. You know, it's not, and it's not even, you know, a new month. It's
Mm-hmm.
connected to the tides of the planets and energetic uh, things that are occurring. So
And
why
that's
I like to use it. Go
mm-hmm.
ahead.
And that's another thing. It's the Chinese New Year today, so they go by the lunar calendar, and it's the 20. It can fall between January 21st and February 20th, their new moon cycle. It just depends on um, where the moon follows. The moon falls in the calendar. So Chinese New Year, there are several cultures that have New Year's. The one that's most well known is Chinese.
Uh-huh.
So this year is the year of the rat. And the important part of this now for us, with the Aquarian new moon in the Gregorian calendar and the Chinese New Year with the lunar moon, the zodiacal rat is the first sign of the 12. So it's starting a
Right.
whole new cycle. We're starting a whole new decade. This is a
12,
really powerful
that's a
time.
12-year cycle for
Hmm.
that. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So we're all starting this whole 12-year cycle. Um, the cool thing about rats, and I mean, we're in Western civilization and we're not really crazy about rats. However, in the Chinese belief system, they're quick thinking, they're optimistic, and they're adaptable. They symbolize wealth and surplus. So if we can think about it like that, because they've got the reproductive cycle, definitely surplus, definitely abundant. Those are the things that the Chinese focus on. It's a positive way to look at the rat.
Yeah.
They're smart and nimble in the Chinese zodiac. They're smart and nimble with plenty of vitality and enterprising spirit.
Okay.
So energetically, it's a great way to start your 12-year cycle.
Cool.
Hmm.
And
And
there's
mhm,
they believe that it's a very abundant sign too, because of the hardworking
yes,
nature of the rat, right?
yeah. Hmm.
So it's a
And
good year for money.
it's a
So,
good year for money. And there are also, you can Google this, but there are also elements that go with them. I think it's metal rat this year, and that just has a new thing, but that ties in with the abundance part. The interesting thing about the new moon we're having in Aquarius and the Lunar New Year is it really is a huge reset for all of us. January full moon had a lunar eclipse, and in Capricorn, it was very heavy and very dense. And you really examined a lot of things in your physical area and your physical being. For me, it manifested in looking around my house and going, yeah, I don't need you. I don't need you. I rehomed a lot of things. I reorganized a lot of things. It's totally revamping my house, which
Yeah.
is kind of funny for people who know me. And it's revamping every area of your life. You're questioning relationships, needs, priorities. You're developing a totally new orientation in your life. So you might not recognize you. There are parts of me that it's like, wow, I thought I would always be whatever, and I'm not. Um, it's a huge change. It's a huge reset button, and it's time to pick what you want. It's a fabulous. I see it kind of as a black hole void, not a bad way, an infinite possibility way, a limitless possibility way. So take your grocery cart and pick what you want out of all these things and try them all out. This is a time to see, who do you want to be? Experiment a little bit with what you want, what direction you want to go. It's all good. This is infinite possibilities open now.
Cool.
And we're at the start of a new decade.
Yeah. A very interesting time for sure.
Yes.
I wanted to go just briefly into kind of where we've been leading up to this point, maybe the last month or two, because I know there's some significant energetic components, some events that occurred last, so basically December leading into January, right?
Yeah. Oh, goodness. So every December time frame, there is a portal that is available for people to cross over. Some people just decide, you know what, I've had enough of this dimension. I'm going to cross over and hang out in spirit for a while, or reincarnate someplace else, or walk in someplace else. There's so many different things you can do. This year, 2019, the portal was huge. It was a much longer period of time. And I know personally, within a 2-week period, people around me, several close people passed away, including Bill, the person who introduced us. And that was, he just had enough and decided that was time. And these people have done everything they can in this dimension. And a lot of them have been an earlier generation, and they've done as much as they could in this dimension with the energies they brought in. So being able to transmute to spirit again and choose something different, they can come in with a much lighter energy if they choose, or they can go elsewhere and do things, or they can hang out in the ethers, advising and guiding and directing. The portal is still open now, which fascinates me, because this is a really long period of time for that portal to be open. It's helping us transfer into the age of Aquarius. Aquarius is totally new energy. It's community, it's groups, it's soul tribes, it's let's make the world a better place. It's kind of a kumbaya thing, which is kind of funny. Generally, you think of the younger kids ready to change the world, and this is now the collective. You know, those of us in my generation are still in here too, wanting to do that.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I don't know if you saw it on your end, but when you mentioned Bill, the connection was going a little funky there. I don't know if he was popping in to mess with us a little bit or say, yeah, hi, I'm here.
Yes. And that's the other interesting thing that I find so fascinating, is the signs, symbols, and synchronicities. When you're aware and you bring it to your consciousness, let's pay attention to signs, symbols, and synchronicities. You will notice so many people communicating with you. A lot of my family has crossed over. A lot of my biological family has crossed over. Bill is part of my soul family who's crossed over. And there are just different license plate messages, time messages, numeric messages. Everything can be a message. It's a matter of paying attention.
Right.
And as we've talked, Bill will get our attention when he wants it. You know, he is so free now, and he's so excited to have the freedom and the flexibility and all of the knowledge of one, that we are all one. It's the collective consciousness. It's power versus force. We can all tap into this. And now he's a big part of that in every way. He's not constrained by a physical body. So he's been great. I have thoroughly enjoyed having him around all the time.
Yes, it has been fun. He's certainly
Yes,
enjoying himself. And
he is.
um, real quickly, since it just came up again, is that part of this fifth dimensional consciousness, that kind of experience on the other side when they cross over, or?
That's crossing over. You're in the infinite possibility realm. You're totally spirit, soul. Um, you don't need a body to experience everything. Is
Okay.
that what you're getting at?
Yeah, I'm wondering if, so the experience that we have at this 5D consciousness, is
Mhm.
that similar to what it's like for when
No,
they?
the
Okay,
5D consciousness is for Earth,
got it.
for this particular realm. Other planets, other solar systems can function on are functioning on different frequencies,
I
different
see.
dimensions. Everything exists in a parallel universe. Every choice, possibility, you and I are operating in different uh, planes as well.
Uh-huh. Okay,
This is just a piece of us. So the fifth dimension on Earth is just a piece of our experience that we want to have.
got it. Okay. So back to New Moon.
Okay.
So it's been an interesting period, the last
Mm-hmm.
month or two, moving into infinite possibilities, getting to choose what we want, working together, collaboration, community, kumbaya-ness. What else? What else do we need to know about Aquarius?
Mm-hmm.
Is this time for a reading? Do we want to pull a card here?
Well, briefly, if you want to do a new moon ceremony, to welcome in this new energy, you focus on the things that Aquarius um, guides or is the energy is most potent with,
Uh-huh.
and then you write like new moon wishes, and no more than 10, just so you're not overwhelming yourself. Because if all 10 of these things, when all 10 of these things happen, if you choose all of them and they happen, then you're going to be overwhelmed. And this is a pretty overwhelming time anyway. You may notice that I'm stammering and stuttering a little bit more than normal because I'm having trouble being grounded. It's
Uh-huh.
such light, airy energy, and I love that. Yeah, grounding, it's not as fun. So anyway, some of the wishes that could be for this time are: I view life in a way that sparks my sense of humor. I'm aware of and act on the highest and best timing. I am more objective in my perceptions regarding whatever. Um, I have guiding insights that lead to my dream of coming true. You're opening yourself um, to the new possibilities. So I've heard of different kinds of ceremonies. Mine, I like to journal them and I like to keep them so that I can reflect on them the next month and
Uh-huh.
see. Well, I generally refer back full moon as well and say, okay, how's it going? Do I need to release anything? Do I want to release anything? Some people do write their intentions on a paper and then burn them and send up the flames to the universe. And everything is perfectly acceptable. It's what resonates, what feels right for you.
Yeah.
It's all about the feeling and the emotion. So,
I like to write mine down, take a picture of them, and then I'll burn it.
okay, you combine it all.
Yeah. Yes.
Overachiever.
Yes.
Yes.
Gotta make sure I do
Okay.
it right.
Except there's not a right. It's a what feels good.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to use the Oracle of E
Okay.
Oracle cards, and I'm going to pull a card that's what is our energy now for this Aquarius New Moon and Lunar New Year
Okay.
in the Chinese group. Okay. Oh, I like this. Loud and clear. Number 45, which adds to a 9 in numerology. So
Hey, Bill.
I'm going to read, yes?
Said, hey, Bill.
Hey, Bill, exactly. Completion.
Yes.
And that is a bill. So loud and clear. It comes with a book that's what the authors intended for this card to be. So loud and clear. Can you hear me now? What about now? How about now? 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 This is time for telling it like it is. Get very clear in your intentions, know exactly what you want to communicate, and trust that you're currently connected to the universal network. And just so you know, it's a lot bigger than 10 Gs. Thank you, Bill.
Okay.
That was totally a Bill message. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? So it's wonderful to have the guidance in spirit. And that's just an illustration. He's not the only one communicating in spirit. He's the one you and I connect through. Well, he introduced us. So it makes sense that he would come through now. People who watch this video may be people, are likely to be people who know Bill. And this is a great way to illustrate you knew him in this dimension. Here he is in the other dimension. He's still with us.
Yeah.
That's helped me tremendously to be able to focus on the joy. Yes, I miss him in this dimension. Yeah, it's hard not to be able to pick up the phone and say, hey, Bill. We don't have to pick up the phone now. Hey, Bill.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? So
That's
focus
funny.
on your intentions. It
That's
is. And somehow I knew he'd come through on this one.
That's pretty much what it's been like for me, at least. And hey, I'm over here. Hey, can you see me? I'm right here. Hello.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That last part, it's a lot more than 10 Gs. Was that actually in the book, or was that
It was actually in the book.
That's hilarious.
Exactly. That's such a Bill.
Yes. Cool. Yeah, that's, man, divine synchronicity once again. And
Yes.
it's not a coincidence. I mean, and for everyone
Mm-mm.
watching, like, it really was just such a fitting card in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Yes.
not coincidence. I mean, that stuff
That's why I
happens
call
for
it
a
divine
reason.
synchronicity.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe everything happens for a reason. Now, look deep and you'll figure it out.
Cool. Well, anything else we need to know for intention setting? So I think one message, we're approaching now, getting closer to the 24-hour period. It's important. It's not necessary, right?
Not mandatory.
Mandatory, yes. To get your intentions down within this 24-hour period, right?
One of the other things I've learned is for those of us following the moon, we understand the potency. The other thing, by the way, it's 11:11 here. Yes, I'm Central Time, 11:11. I somehow just noticed the time. Love it when that happens. That's another sign symbol synchronicity thing. So anyway, train of thought. So trust that you're watching this video in divine timing. It's going to serve you best when you see it. So even if you're watching this 6 months from now, 10 years from now, it's what you need to hear in this moment. Go ahead and do the wishes. Go ahead and do the ceremony, whatever feels right to you. It may be just you want the information, you want the introduction. Okay, and then you can apply it yourself to the next new moon. This is the message, and your reaction to the message is your message.
Cool. Love that.
Timeless. Infinity.
Yes. Let's see. What else? So we've covered new moon. Anything else about the Lunar New Year? Anything else we need to know?
Not at this point. This was a lot of information to digest.
Okay.
And I'm actually curious to go back and listen to it because, like I said, I don't necessarily remember what I channel, so curious to see what it was. But they're telling me that we've had the guides. I have a council of 13 guides, and they change regularly. So the council right now is telling me that we're good. We've imparted all that you need to know right now. Take some time and digest. Get it busy with your intentions.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank
Okay.
you. This was great.
You're welcome. Oh, thank you.
We'll continue this at some frequent, if it's every new moon, maybe a couple times a month sort of thing.
Well,
But
I'm flexible, open to messages.
yeah, everyone watching, if you want even a personal reading from Diana, reach out to her.
Hmm.
Again, it'll blow your mind if you've never done one before, and it's just super, super helpful. I mean, every time I get with Diana, and it still blows my mind, even though it I don't know, it shouldn't anymore because of the amount of
Yes, you used
interaction.
to it.
But highly recommend it. So
Thank you.
yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks, Diana. We'll talk soon.
Namaste.
Namaste. Have a
Bye.
great day, everyone.